Okay, so this is going to be the video for more advanced dropshippers. Basically, people who at least make like 20K profit per month with dropshipping. First of all, congrats. If you're actually part of that small group of people, because let's face it, most of the dropshippers, like 99.999%, don't belong into this group. I just know that for a fact, and if you look at the numbers of people who actually dropship and people who actually make more than 20K profit per month, it's just ridiculous, okay? However, you're there, congrats, I'm happy for you. And the next step is, what the fuck do you do with your life? Like, how do you actually behave from now to stay consistent with this? And how do you make sure that you're doing all the right moves in terms of, okay, are you gonna travel more right now? How much are you gonna pay yourself? How is your life gonna look in general? And also, and this is a big one, how do you make sure that you hire a proper team which you outsource most of the things to? And if you're consistently making 20K profit per month, you most likely already outsourced a lot of things. However, from my experience, there's also still a lot of things which you still do and don't really know how to get rid of. So this is exactly what this video is going to be about. So first of all, you need to understand that right now, your time actually became way more valuable than your money. And that's a very important and interesting shift, because in the beginning, your time was not worth anything. You basically needed to figure out how to do everything, and that required time, okay? However, because you didn't have money and also you didn't have the knowledge on how to actually get things started, you're not allowed to outsource everything in the beginning. Right now, you're actually in a position where you should outsource as much as possible. However, make sure that you do it the right way. The number one thing I would recommend here is there's only two things you need to look out for in a really, really good person who works for you. Number one, that you can 1000% trust them. And that's a huge one. If you don't trust a person inside of dropshipping, they can crush you really, really easily. I got scammed by virtual assistants. Like, I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars by doing very, very stupid mistakes in the beginning. When things started to do really well, I started to get comfortable, started to chill more, and basically gave away work, which I had no idea how to properly manage and track. And it ended really, really bad. So how you make sure that a person is loyal is you just need to do a lot of tests with them. And you have to ask them questions which are not like, hey, are you a loyal person? And obviously everybody's gonna say yes to that. What you need to ask them is, hey man, who did you work for before? And they're gonna tell you. And then you're gonna need to ask them very specific questions. For example, what was the last winning product they had? What's their current winning product? How many orders do they have? And they're gonna tell you all of that, and if they do, you don't hire them. Because right now they're snitching on the person they worked for previously, and you don't want that, because you're obviously gonna be the next one. And by the way, you take very, very in-depth notes and steal their winning products on top of that, but besides that, you just don't hire them, okay? And it's very, very important to do all of this and constantly put them to a test over a period of a long time, just to make sure that that's actually a person you really can trust, okay? And this is just something which you need to consider. One person should never be an all-rounder, okay? You should not have one person, and that's a big mistake I see a lot of people do. You have a person who's doing everything for you. Basically, you have one guy who's just doing your product pages, your ads, they're helping you with Facebook ads, and they're doing like your customer support, okay? If they're gonna be gone, whatever happens to them, either they're gonna just work for somebody else, they wanna start their own online business and they basically steal your product, or just something health-wise happens. Like, something can always happen that the person is gone, okay? Everything is gone for you, and you're gonna have to restart everything from scratch or do everything by yourself. And that's really, really bad. So you're in a situation which is exactly the same like having one winning product. You should never have only one winning product, because if one goes down, you're at zero. And you need to always diversify in everything, in winning products, in Facebook accounts, in PayPal accounts, and also in virtual assistants, or just generally people who work for you. This is very, very important. And if you have this one break, it can just crush your business instantly. Because let's say you have one full year where you didn't do all the tasks which your assistant basically did for you, you have no clue anymore how to do them. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult to restore everything and to make sure that you're doing it as good as the person did. The other thing I just mentioned here is obviously diversifying everything. And the assistant thing was just one example, but you really need to diversify everything. A bunch of products, a bunch of stores. Even inside of one product, you should probably have multiple stores which are running the same product for multiple Facebook accounts, just so you make sure that if something goes down, not everything goes down, okay? Also, you should definitely be looking out for agency accounts which have really, really good deals. First of all, what even is an agency account? Agency accounts are basically accounts which don't get blocked by Facebook unless a person from Facebook decides that they need to get blocked. Okay, so a regular Facebook account gets blocked by the Facebook bot. If you say something which is not against policy, but it sounds like it's against policy, you're gonna get blocked. And that's basically the Facebook algorithm. okay? And that's why a lot of dropshippers just have those blocks out of nowhere, even though they don't violate against policy. With agency accounts, there's nothing like that. You're not gonna get your account blocked unless you actually violate against the policy really, really bad. So if you have this in place, it's just a complete game changer. Now, how do you get a hold of these agency accounts and how do they actually work? Basically, there's some agencies in the world which have a very special deal with Facebook. And every dollar they spend on Facebook, they get like 5 cents back. Meaning that if they spend $100,000, they get like 5K back, okay? And their interest is to spend as much as possible on Facebook. And that's why they onboard clients like you, for example, who have a higher ad spend, and you're just gonna send the agency money, and basically they're gonna put that money onto the agency ad account, which you can spend the money from, okay? And that's how the agency actually gets paid directly from Facebook, from your ad spend. And it's basically a win-win for everybody. However, most dropshippers who work with agency accounts, they have to pay them a very significant amount of money. Either it's like a percentage of your ad spend, or sometimes it's like a couple of $1,000s per month plus a percentage of the ad spend, and it's like a pretty big thing. In reality, you're always paying the middleman, okay? The agencies never charge you money. And a real Facebook agency account never charges you money. And this is something which nobody will tell you, because everybody who is dealing with agency accounts, they take this percentage, okay? I could literally be the middleman. I could connect you with the agency, and that's how I will basically get a percentage from your ad spend, and I'm gonna be the person who's gonna be charging, okay? Not the agency. Agencies are free. They are free, however, they're actually pretty tough to get a hold of. And that's the exact reason why those middlemen exist, because they will make it way easier to start working with the agency. And if you pay them like anything between $500 and $2K a month, or a percentage of your ad spend, you will also get the access, okay? The other thing you need to consider is traveling versus having an office and actually having like one base where you're constantly at. I basically did both. And when I did all the traveling, I had a terrible experience with my dropshipping business because I just got crushed, okay? Maybe it was just me and I did it too early and I couldn't keep track of everything and I just got distracted by bullshit. But I've seen this happen a lot, okay? And that's why I decided to actually have a proper office. And I do travel, however, the majority of my time I spent in the office with a proper team. I don't like virtual assistants anymore that much for work which actually matters. I'm not talking about like customer support, for that you can have virtual assistants, but I prefer to have everything in-house where I actually see exactly what the team is doing and there's just not too much remote things. Okay? And I would highly recommend the same thing to you if you're actually ready for that. And I understand that most people get into dropshipping because of the location independence. And I get it, and it's going to be very, very tempting to just do whatever the fuck you want, travel around, and literally live this like whole laptop lifestyle which you dreamed of, which is now possible for you. Okay? And you just have to make a decision. Do you want to stay at the level you're at, or do you want to grow? And unfortunately, staying consistent on one level is very rare. There's not a lot of people who stay on like 10, 20K a month for 3-4 years straight, okay? That's not something you see very often, because either you actually keep pushing and really try to achieve more, or things go down. And yes, it's possible to actually make things passive, but it's gonna be very difficult. And you're gonna need to outsource things in a way where you really have people in the team who actually are very interested in your business growing, okay? The people who make decisions in terms of thinking and doing the ads and doing all the things which actually matter a lot, they need to get a percentage of the profit. And that's very, very important, because without that, they're not gonna have this strong interest. So basically the goal is this. You have a person who's doing product research for you. Basically, a product either gets approved by you, or you trust the product researcher enough that they can do it by themselves. And if it's approved, it's going to move into the next step, which is basically store and ad creation. And then you're going to have another person who's going to do the store and the ads. And when that's done, that's instantly going to be moved on to the next step, which is the Facebook test column. And that's just a whole setup on Facebook. So you just have to literally click on launch by doing one click, and the product starts spending money, and you don't even have to review anything, okay? That's the ideal process. Like, you want to get to the point where you review everything for like 25 times and you don't find a single mistake, or maybe one or two, and you actually can trust the people enough that you don't look over the whole thing. Okay? If you have that, then you can start outsourcing other things which are like creating the lookalike audiences on Facebook, killing the ad set, managing the ads. Not the difficult stuff, not the like really thinking part, okay, what's the next split test? What do you actually have to do here? That's way more important, and that's like something which you can outsource way later. But first you just need to have a person for all the basics on Facebook. Basically you need a pipeline where it's just one person does this, then the next one does this, then this, then this, then this, and you constantly have a pipeline of winning products just being pumped out, okay? You're not going to test a lot of products if you do things by yourself, and we both know that. If you're honest to yourself, you're probably not testing enough right now. And that's kind of what most people experience when they actually start being successful at dropshipping. They just get lazy, and it's just reality. You will get lazy and that's it. However, there's a really good way of overcoming this laziness and being super productive, which is called multiplying your daily hours by having people who do things for you, okay? You can be as productive as you want. You're not going to be as productive as 8 people at the same time who work on the same day on the same project. It's just impossible, okay? So that's what you need. The other thing is just diversified PayPal accounts, Stripe accounts, Facebook accounts, all those things, having a proper system in place, and also obviously branding and having like 2-day delivery times, really good customer service, having like really good upsell structures inside of the package. So having like gift cards in the package, having affiliate programs, getting constant content in terms of influencers, and just affiliate programs where like every second week you get sent a video by one person and you have that deal set up with like 20 people. And the main thing is just understanding what your priority is. If your priority now is not making way more money now, you can start chilling a little bit more, but only after you gave away all the important tasks, okay? You can only allow yourself to chill after you really see that everything is done without your supervision constantly, and it's actually done really well. And yeah, basically one last trick I want to give you here before I end the video is if you actually have virtual assistants, then you basically need to let them get on Zoom and basically start screen sharing and record everything they're doing. Okay, you need to be able to go back in time and see exactly what they did 2 weeks ago on that day and this time. And this is very important because you're just going to be able to see exactly how long they've worked, how long it took to generally do all the tasks which you need to do, and you're even going to see if they're slacking or if they're actually really productive and doing the things you need them to do. If you're advanced and you feel like all the things I just mentioned are not quite the things you actually have set up, I can help you with it. So click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session. We're going to find out if this is actually a good fit. And if yes, we're going to start working together one-on-one, where I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to have everything in place to run a sustainable business for years to come. Okay? And if you are just starting out and are not at this level, first of all, congrats, you just wasted your time because this video was not for you. And you should have actually rather done something to get to this, because this video is literally just entertainment for you. Okay? And if you feel unproductive and you don't know, and you're just starting out, you feel lost and don't know what to do except for watching YouTube videos which are not relevant for you, also you can click the link below, sign up for a free consultation session. I'm going to help you as well and tell you exactly how the step-by-step structure is to finding a winning product and then also making products consistent in the long run. So basically, see you in the call.